It's long slide style.
Welcome to Hawaii.
It is really cold. We're out here in the mountains. We are testing out the new Shadow Systems DR920L. Just came out and we're super excited to have it and be able to test it out.
Most of it is familiar territory because it's just the DR920, but this is the L version, so it has the long slide.
Long.
Colin, there's something I like about this pistol. Please, ask me what it is.
You shut up. So starting off, we're gonna pretty much go from top to bottom on this guy. Pretty much starting with the sights. Mitch, I know you love the sights on these guys.
I adore the sights on pretty much any Shadow Systems, but it's nice on this because it's got the longer sight radius, which is wonderful. Obviously, a lot of people are gonna put a red dot on there, but I don't think you absolutely need to because the sights on Shadow Systems are really easy to find. They're very clear. I love that the back rear sight is not painted and the front is super bright. It's super easy to pick up on. I don't get confused. I like them. They don't need to change.
Yeah, it does. It has that green sort of yellowish contrast ring on the front, so super easy to pick up. Something that you really just can't even miss. And yeah.
That's all we have to say about the sights. They're very good.
One of the other things that I wanted to talk about, which is kind of in general for a lot of the Shadow Systems, is the optics plate. So the way that they cut this, it's actually larger than it needs to be, but that's for a very specific purpose. Pretty much every red dot out there, there's maybe a few that I'm not thinking of, but most of the majority of them can mount directly to this, and then they have little spacers that come with it in the box. And those spacers will help fill the gaps on either side. But that's really nice. You don't have to worry about adapter plates or any sort of spacers, nothing like that. Mounts directly to it, so that's a huge bonus.
The slide is very cool because you can reach lots of things with it. If there's something stuck behind your couch, you can actually stick this gun down there and shimmy it out because of this, how long this is.
The length of the barrel actually is 5.3 inches, I believe. So it is a pretty long barrel. It's meant for higher accuracy, which again, gun's only as accurate as you are, so make sure you train.
The thing I like about the slide on this, one is it probably doesn't matter to a lot of people, but aesthetics. And this is a upside and a downside for me. The serrations on it are great, and there's a lot of them, which of course would make sense since the slide is so long. So it's very easy to get up here and grab this and pull the slide back. So comfort-wise, handling, all good with this thing. I just also really like the way that it looks. These notches going forward look really awesome, and I like how they look on the top. The thing I dislike about that is you have this long barrel on here with this awesome fluting, and most of it's covered up. You do get this little window here, and I don't know how they would change this, but I'd like to see a little bit more of it because you have this really pretty looking barrel in here and you're kind of paying for that, and I'd like to just look at it more often. So really, really nitpicky thing. They don't really need to change that, but it makes me sad that I know I have this pretty barrel that's completely covered up by this slide.
But even on top of that though too, it's like if they did figure out a way, which I know this would kind of increase production costs, but if they were to take away some of the metal, give a little bit bigger of a window on there, it would actually help reduce the weight, which can be a bonus, especially once you start mounting things to it. It's gonna start gaining weight. So a lot of people, they're always chasing after, you know, that lower weight handgun or rifle or whatever it may be. So another thing that I really like is the grip and the grip angle.
Let me see like that real quick.
With the grip, one thing that I love that they do with these is they make it super aggressive and very sandpapery. More importantly, they put the grip up here, right along the slide. So where your finger ends up being either your trigger finger or your support hand thumb, going thumbs forward grip on there, you've already got that texturing right there, which I really, really like that. As well as the grip angle. This gun and majority of all the Shadow Systems that we've seen and got to play around with, these things just come right up. It's extremely comfortable. Your wrist feels like it's perfectly in line. It's just one of those things that it's a comfortability thing. You don't feel like you have to do anything weird with your wrist. Pretty much all Shadow Systems, they come with a flared magwell, which you can put on or not. It's totally up to you. We prefer to put it on because why not have it on?
Makes you look fast and feel cool.
One last thing I wanted to talk about real quick too, the trigger on this guy. It is definitely better than a normal Glock trigger. Still a little bit of play in there, little bit of mush, but it's much crisper. It's definitely not as mushy as a normal Glock trigger would be. It is an aluminum trigger as well, so that is nice. But it's got a clean take up, it's got a clean break. Definitely very tactile. Like I said, there's a little bit of mush, but it's not too terrible.
Okay, so we like a couple things about it. Overall, pretty good gun, but it's a little bit big. It's not really a concealed carry gun. Who is this gun for?
Essentially, you know, somebody who is wanting to maybe get into competition shooting and they want something that's a little bit of that longer slide, that longer barrel length, again, a little bit better accuracy off the longer barrel, but they can't afford some of those, you know, super high-end race car guns to get into something that is, you know, extremely well off from a factory gun. It's definitely a great place to start, especially for that competition style gun.
It'll probably get you a lot of Instagram likes too.
We do want to talk about some cons. There are no perfect handguns in this world. There's no perfect anything in this world. So there's a few things that I don't like about this, or things that I would like to see improve. The biggest one for me is that it does not have ambidextrous controls, which essentially that has to do with patents. So it's not like it's their fault, but it is something that hopefully in the future we'll see a change there. We'll see it go into that ambidextrous area. To where at least like the slide release is ambidextrous, because our lefties, we love you and we don't want to see you miss out.
Yes, that is sad. I feel sorry for all the lefties out there. Boo-hoo. But there's another con, and this is sort of a nitpicky one. I don't hear too many people complain about this, and I'd like to bring it to the attention, okay, of the masses. I don't really like the mag release button on really any Glock or on the Shadow Systems either. It's plastic. I take issue with that. I wish this was actually metal. I think that would actually help it eject the magazines a little bit better, or at least give you a better click when you get the magazine in or when you're going to eject it. The magazine also, this is kind of a problem with pretty much any Glock mag, but sometimes they just get stuck. They don't really eject. And it's not a big problem. It's not like anybody's gonna run into serious issues with that or you're gonna be slower because of it. I think it's just a premium thing. When you're paying a pretty good amount of money for a pistol, I want those quality of life improvements, and I would like it for the magazine to have that little assist to just eject out of the gun really nice and easy. It's a nice quality of life thing. It makes me happy. And so that's one thing I wish I would see improve with Glocks in general or Shadow Systems is just a nicer ejection of the magazine out of the gun. They go in real nice because that mag flare, but I wish they came out a little slicker. Okay, with all that being said about the DR920L, is this something you would buy if you were in the market for a gun of this length?
Definitely. Like I said, I mean, for the price point and what kind of handgun the DR920L has to offer, it's hard to miss. I mean, even the cons, like we're being picky here,
Very picky.
but there's a lot of really cool stuff that they've done with this, especially right out of the box. So yeah, I definitely would own one if I wanted something in that length.
Yeah, in general, Shadow Systems, quality brand, you're getting really good parts, you're getting a sweet gun out of the box. That's kind of the whole point of Shadow Systems, is to buy something that's just awesome right away.
The stuff that you'd have to do to a Glock to get it to where this thing is out of the box, you probably end up spending more than if you just went with the Shadow. So for that, I think it's a great deal.
Yeah.
Would you take that deal?
I'd take that deal.
How about you, bitch? You make that deal?
I'd make that deal.
I don't blame you. Damn good deal.
Otherwise, guys, it is cold. We're dying. I cannot feel my toes right now. We're gonna wrap this thing up. If you have any questions, we'd love to do something on this in the future, maybe when it's not so cold. But we really wanted to get this out there, especially because it is releasing soon. So, well, actually, it'll have released by the time you see this. So
thank you all so much for watching this video. It was not at all fun to make because of how cold it is, but we're really happy to be here doing these videos, and we're really happy you guys are all watching them. So please consider liking and subscribing to our page and checking out our other socials as well, like our Instagram and our Twitter and our Facebook. We're very active on there. And please leave a comment, anything you liked or disliked, and maybe some videos you'd like to see in the future.
also, let us know questions that you have. We probably didn't go over everything, and I'm sure some more stuff will come up. So yeah, I can't feel my toes. Love you. some gloves, dog.
Bro, gloves.
You.
They're all
We're
bad.
talking. You can have gloves.
I don't need it.